The Redcat Everest Ascent could be pound for pound the best value in RC right now. This is a no-nonsense LCG comp style chassis that punches way above its weight. At less than 300 bucks, this is bargain performance right here. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So we're going to jump in, we're going to take a closer look at the truck. I'm going to hit the key features. Then we're going to go hit the rocks with it and see how well this thing performs. I'm really excited to get into this. Redcat did a great job with this truck, so let's get in and check it out. Here is the Everest Ascent. We've got the blue model here. It does come in two different colors and actually comes in two different body styles. The blue one, like we have here, is actually a two-piece body. You'll see when I open this thing up that you can actually unbolt the back and run it as a cab-only model. The red is a one-piece body and also features broader fenders and an overall bigger appearance to it. The blue one, like we have here, has been nipped and tucked to give it a purpose-built appearance to it. Of the two, I really prefer the blue, so I'm glad I was able to get my hands on this one. The body is a no-nonsense Lexan body. It does have a nice drop bed in the back. We've got clear windows with tinted stickers on them, but otherwise you've just got stickers for the grille and the taillights. We can open up the body. We've got two pins in the back. This is on a hinge. You can open the body up here. And then in the front, it just clips on, and it's very easy to remove entirely. So the whole body comes right off. And there you can see that it's bolted to the cab right here. So with 6 bolts, you could unbolt that and run it as just the cab only. Underneath here, looking at the chassis, if it wasn't for the Redcat battery straps, you would never think that this was a Redcat product. This has a steel twin plate style chassis. Everything is down low and shifted to the front. We've got multiple positions for our battery. So here in the back is a full-size pack tray here that is adjustable. You can adjust the angle on this where you want it to sit. But there are also slots in each of the sliders that you could put battery straps on and run a smaller pack, which is exactly what I've been doing over here. Underneath this thing, we've got thick, beefy stainless steel links all around. We've also got stainless steel steering links up front. This does have a 4-link setup in the rear, 3-link up front with a panhard bar. Look how nice and flat the skid is here, and it's got these kind of boat-style sliders on the side. Chassis also features a multitude of shock placements, so you can really tune your ride height here and adjust it for your needs. We've also got positions for body posts, which Redcat does include in the package if you wanted to run different bodies on here. The motor is a 42-turn 550 brush motor situated as far forward as it can and nice and low in the chassis. We've got our exposed spur gear here leading down to our transfer case right in the middle. The transfer case is very cool because this is a quick change system. So with just a couple bolts here, you can open up this transfer case, pop off your drive shaft, open this up, and you can swap out the gears if you want to change it to some underdrive, which Redcat also provides with this truck. You get the option of a 10% or a 20% underdrive. Now the gears in the transfer case are composite, but everything else throughout the drivetrain is metal. Rounding out the drivetrain, we've got the Gen 9 portal axles on this. These are going to give you lots of clearance in here and have a great steering angle on this truck. Suspension on this truck, we've got these aluminum oil-filled shocks. These are a dual spring setup. We have one stubby little spring here at the bottom. They also have an internal spring in here to help control your axle drop on inclines and tricky obstacles. Electronics on this truck, so we've got a HexFly speed controller up front in the very front. I believe this is sourced from Hobbywing. It features a 5 amp 7.4 volt BEC. Right next to your speed controller is the servo, so we've got a HexFly waterproof metal geared servo. On the passenger side slider, we've got our tiny little receiver right here. The truck sits on these nice plastic wheels. These are not a beadlock wheel. These tires are glued on. The tires have a nice feel to them. The compound's nice and soft. Wheels are vented to allow for some good conformity. There's a soft insert in there that gives you great tire squish, but still not a lot of sidewall flex. This truck does come ready to run with everything you need except for a battery for the truck itself. So you'll need a battery up to 3S on this. Just make sure you got something with the T-plug. With the truck comes this RTX 4C radio from Redcat. This is a 2.4 gigahertz 4-channel radio. It's got all the necessary trim adjustments on here. It's got a nice feel to it. Has these kind of soft rubbery grips. Feels great in the hand, easy to drive with one. In the box, Redcat also sends you a bunch of goodies. Here are the additional gears that I mentioned. Now I've already put the 20% underdrive gears in mine. So I have the stock set and I have the 10% set in here. Here are the additional body posts I mentioned if you want to change out your body. You get a quick start guide that comes with it. Just scan the QR code if you want to access the digital full manual online. Redcat also gives us a whole bunch of stickers here to personalize your truck. You can see that the body itself is pretty bare bones out of the box, but you've got lots of different options here to customize it however you see fit. So we're going to get out and run this thing in just a minute, but before we do, I want to get this on the corner scales to check out the weight distribution. So let's do that now and then we'll hit the rocks. Check it out. Here's our weight distribution here. If you can see that, we're at 58% front, 42% rear. Near perfect weight bias on this. This does not have a battery in it. So that would sway it a little bit, but with no battery in it, just the way it is, pretty awesome weight distribution on this thing. So I just threw in a small 2S pack on the driver's side slider, and we're still at 58-42. And doing that actually perfectly evened out my left to right distribution on this thing. So now that you've seen the layout of this chassis and the key features, as well as the near perfect weight distribution, are you starting to see the narrative take shape here? Redcat really did their homework on this thing, and it absolutely shows. Now it's time to hit the rocks with this thing to see how that translates into real-world performance. I actually took this thing over to Reckless Hobbies in Wareham, Massachusetts. They had a big crawler event over the weekend, and it was a great opportunity to hit the crawler course with the Ascent. Now I'm super pumped to show you guys that run footage, so let's jump in and check it out, see how this thing did. All right, we're out here at Crawloween at Reckless Hobbies. We're here pretty early, which is good because I'm going to get the Redcat Ascent out on the track. Got this thing set up. I got a small pack on the skid here, which is great. You can do that. I put the 20% underdrive gears in the rear, so I'm anxious to see how this thing does. So let's go hit the rocks before it gets too crowded, and we'll shake this thing out. Right, it's my first time ever driving the Redcat outdoors, so let's see how it does. So I feel like the ESC works pretty well. It's a little whiny. It's got decent slow crawl off the bottom. Nice and smooth. Going over the bridge here. Let's see how these underdrive gears do. Help me with the turning. Got decent turning. I'm getting some rub in there on the body, if you can hear that. Those big tires are catching a little bit on the fenders. Steering feels pretty good. You know, this has that 5 amp BEC. I would like to see a little stronger steering out of it, but I could probably get that with a upgraded servo. Pretty impressed with this truck right now. Actually, I really want to get into some harder stuff. I'm over here on kind of the class 1 part of the track. I really want to find some more challenging obstacles to stress it out. So I have some slick vertical climbs here. That underdrive setup should help with vertical. My thing has no problem. Oh, I lost it on that one though. To control the descent a little better. Drag brake was a little too strong there. Let's go up on the other side. It's steeper over here. It's good. Yeah, so I control the descent a little better. It works. My battery strap hanging out like a tongue there. Nice. Motor's nice and smooth. It's got plenty of punch to get up and over obstacles like that. Give it a good bump, no problem. Get into some of the rougher stuff now. Boy, I'm impressed with this truck. I mean, it is planted, smooth, easy to drive, feels controlled. Man, I'm just really digging this thing. Never would I imagine that this is the $300 or sub $300 truck right here. Boy, able to recover there, that's awesome. Turning's nice and tight. I'm getting my speed up here, really kind of pushing through this section much faster than I'm used to going through here. Oh, man. Check out this spiral obstacle here. We'll see if we can do it. Whoa. Redcat really impressing me here. I can't get that bounce. Gotta get those back tires up and over. Maybe. Oh yeah, we got it. Oh man, I'm impressed with this thing. I keep saying that over and over, but I really am. Oh, good job, Redcat. That thing was awesome. I'm going to call this truck Rocky because it is the true underdog mentality and it punches so far above its weight. This thing surprised me so much at Reckless Hobbies out on the course. Things this thing was able to do right out of the box and the way it performed and navigated those tricky obstacles around the whole course really surprised me. Now I went out there with two other 10 scales. I had my SCX 10 Gladiator and my VS 410 Phoenix Portal Edition, and the Ascent absolutely held its own with both of those, even doing better in some situations, I would argue. So the performance that you get out of this truck for $289 is absolutely crazy. Redcat really did a great job with this thing. It's really hard for me to come up with things to complain about given the price and the performance that it put out, But if I was to really nitpick it, I think some of the things that I would want to overhaul would be primarily the electronics. Even though it's got that good 5 amp BEC on it, the steering felt sluggish, more so than I was expecting. The 42 turn brushed motor does a pretty good job. It's nice and smooth and easy to control. Definitely lacking in wheel speed. So a lower turn count, punchier motor, I think would really help this thing out to really get up and over some more of those aggressive obstacles. But I mean, really, for the price of this thing at under 300 bucks, Redcat has really given us an incredible platform to build upon. You could completely overhaul all of the electronics, put a brushless motor and top tier system in there, with some brass unsprung weight in the front, some beadlock wheels and stickier tires, and you would still be under the cost of entry for some competitors. And I dare say this thing would run rings around them. So I'm very impressed with what Redcat has done with the Ascent here. And I'm really looking forward to tweaking this thing, throwing some mods on it to see just how much performance we can get out of it in a budget. I'll put the link in the description down below if you want to grab the Ascent for yourself. And let me know in the comments, what do you think of the Ascent and how well it performed? As always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.